On to our top story tonight. President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has assured that media freedom would not be hindered during his tenure. He made this statement during a meeting with heads of media institutions this morning at the President's office.
Upon the invitation of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, a meeting between the President and heads of media institutions took place at the Presidential Secretariat today. During the meeting, President Gotabaya Rajapaksa said opportunities are available for any reasonable criticism, while adding he expects every media institute to fulfill its obligation towards the country while engaging in favourable media reporting to uphold the country's reputation.
කිසිම අයුරකින් මාධ්‍යයට බලපෑමක් කරන්නට සූදානම් නැහැ. හැබැයි මාධ්‍ය
I have no intention to influence the media. If the media is releasing false information, that can be thought of as disgracing the people of the country. Our media was not involved in it, but international media created that story as soon as we came into power. We had not done such a thing. Neither the government nor any government institution was involved in it. It is clear that this incident was scripted. These sorts of incidents change the perception the international community has on our country. We have to be open with our economic policies. We have to work together with other nations. The image of our country is a key factor to achieve all our objectives. The media has a responsibility to create a virtuous image of our country.
මේවට බලපාන්නේ ඉතින් ඒ ප්‍රතිරූපය හදාදීමේ වගකීමක් මං හිතන්නේ අපේ මාධ්‍යවලට තිබෙනවා.
Details of an alleged attack that took place on Madhuka Takshila Fernando, the former new media head of Lake House, was revealed at a media briefing that was held in Colombo today.
The person named Hemantha Dep came and asked who Madhuka is. He took me out of the office and spoke in profanity. The CCTV cameras have recorded all of these incidents. The chairman of the SLPP trade union asked me to come to him. When I was being taken to him, I asked why I was being taken there. Then the person named Hemantha Dep said I should be spoken to, not with words. He then attacked me. There were around 15 people present there.
කටින් නෙමෙයි කතා කරන්න ඕනේ අතින් කියලා. ඒ වෙලාවේ හේමන්ත ඩෙප් කියන පුද්ගලයා මට ප්‍රහාරණ කිහිපයක් එල්ල කළා. 15ක් විතර ප්‍රමාණයක් හිටියා. දැන් අද වෙනකන් ඔහු රැකියාවට යන්නේ නැහැ. ඔහුගේ ජීවිතේට ඇති බිය, ඔහුගේ රැකියාවක්.
Until today he has not gone to work. That is because there is a threat to his life. The right he has to do a job has been violated. The social disrepute which has been brought upon his family, including his children and parents. On one hand, it is a criminal offence, and on the other, it is the violation of a person's freedom.
උල්ලංඝනය කිරීම.
ගෝඨාභය රාජපක්ෂ මහත්මයා 7 වෙනි විධායක ජනාධිපතිවරයා විදිහට අපේ රටේ වැඩබාර අරගෙන
It has been 26 days since Gotabaya Rajapaksa took oaths as the 7th executive president. According to reports, 13 journalists have been threatened. That is one person being threatened every 2 days.
දින දෙකකට එක්කෙනෙක් දවස් දෙකකට එක්කෙනෙක්ට අඩම් තෙට්ටම්කම් වෙලා තියෙනවා වාර්තා වෙච්ච අන්දමට.
Well, Madhuka Takshila Fernando had earlier lodged a complaint with the Fort Police claiming that he was attacked. Accordingly, the Fort Police recorded statements from several trade union activists attached to the SLPP today.
Day before yesterday, we received information that he had arrived at the workplace and was editing a certain video. Shortly after, a few of us went to see what was happening. Only one of our members spoke with him. It is clear that he was utilizing resources of Lake House to create content which is detrimental towards President Gotabaya Rajapaksa. All we can say is this is some sort of facade, just like the Swiss embassy issue.
ශ්‍රී ලංකාවේ අපරාධ නීතියට අනුව මෙලෙස
According to criminal law in the country, making false complaints is an offence. One can be jailed for such an offence as well. Therefore, we would like to tell anyone who is attempting to use these as reasons to seek asylum in other countries, it is not a safe game to play.
ඕනෑම කෙනෙකුට අපි පැවසීමට කැමැති මේ සෙල්ලම තරම් හොඳ දෙයක් නොවේ.
Now, the Cabinet of Ministers has decided to recruit 100,000 youth immediately to fill in the existing vacancies in the state sector. During the media briefing to announce cabinet decisions today, it was revealed that those with educational qualifications below the GCE ordinary level will be recruited for these positions.
We will provide the youth who successfully completed a training of 6 months with job opportunities in the state sector. The cabinet has decided to establish a multi-purpose development task force as a government department, and with effect from the 15th of January, operations of this task force will commence.
අපි මේ අවස්ථාවේදී දැනුම් දෙනවා.
දැනට ඉන්න ප්‍රමාණයක් රජයට බර වැඩි කියන මතයකුත් තියෙනවා එමෙතුමා. දැන් මේ බර දරා ගන්න පුළුවන්ද රජයට?
නෑ අපේ සීමාව නිග්මලා.
No, if we try to expand the labor force of the state sector and try to help every entrepreneur in the country, we will face that issue. However, considering the current state sector labor force and the number of pensioners, this is not an issue.
විශ්‍රාම යන සංඛ්‍යාවන් දිහා බැලුවම මේක ගැටලුවක් නෙමෙයි හඳුන්.
The cabinet has decided to impose a maximum retail price of 98 rupees per kilogram of rice to prevent the shortage of rice. It was further revealed the government has taken steps to release the 42,000 metric tons of paddy stocks owned by the government to the local market.
මේ රටට තිරුඟු පිටි ආනයනය සඳහා අවශ්‍ය බදු මිල සංශෝධනයකට අඩු කිරීමට තිරුඟු පිටි ආනයනය කිරීම විවෘත වෙළඳපොළක තරඟකාරීත්වය යටතේ සිදු කිරීමට කැබිනට් මණ්ඩලය තීන්දුව කරනු ලැබුවා.
Cabinet approval was also received to increase the number of national schools from 374 to 1,000. The cabinet has also decided to introduce a new school-based scientific method to select students for government universities in lieu the present Z-score system based on districts. Minister of Education Dalas Alhaperuma said the new method will be introduced for the GCE advanced level in 2020. The Cabinet of Ministers also approved the position to appoint a committee of experts in the respective fields to review the amended scope of the Financial City project and procedure used to revise the project.
Now, during this same media briefing, journalists questioned about the extradition of former central bank governor Arjuna Mahendran, who is implicated in the central bank bond scam.
මහෙන්ද්‍රන් ගේන්න තරම් ඒ තරම් ලොකු උනන්දුවක් කලින් උනන්දුව නෑ මොකද එයාගේ නැවුවොත් උදයංග වීරතුංගත් ගෙන්න සිද්ධ වෙනවා මොකද උදයංග මෙක් ඩීල් එකේ හාදයනේ.
අර්ජුන මහෙන්ද්‍රන්
The Attorney General's Department of Singapore is currently examining the request we made to extradite Arjuna Mahendran to Sri Lanka. The government of Singapore has informed us that they will inform us of their decision in the coming weeks. Everything will take place based on their conclusion. We are of the stance that we will enforce the law as per the legal provisions. Do not have any issue in this regard.
ගැටලුවක් ඔබ තියාගන්නට එපා.
උදයංග වීරතුංගත් අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම ගෙන්නනවා.
නිල් පාට චෞරයක් කොළ
We cannot segregate anyone based on their political preferences. It is the duty of the judiciary. Our duty is to allow them to do their job and ensure nothing is hindering this process.
දීම සහ බාධා ඉවත් කර ගැනීම.
And we are coming to you that was held today. Meanwhile, intellectuals and professionals have pointed out several factors of concern regarding the MCC agreement.
According to the Daily FT, the Alliance for Economic Democracy says several key issues regarding the proposed Millennium Challenge Corporation Compact are not adequately represented in public discussion. The movement says it is, however, crucial to the well-being and security of people in Sri Lanka. AED says MCC's constraints analysis for Sri Lanka was drafted in the US without engaging national universities, academics and the interests of local people, and it misidentifies the island's binding constraints to growth. The AED strongly warns signing MCC will ensnare Sri Lanka in a costly geopolitical conflict between the US and China and endanger our sovereignty. These concerns have been endorsed by a collective of 53 individuals and organizations in the country. The Millennium Challenge Corporation, better known as MCC, has pledged to financially assist Sri Lanka to develop the transport system and reform of land laws. Meanwhile, it was reported today that the cabinet had approved an expeditious program for the management of government-owned lands. The proposal for cabinet approval was presented by Minister S.M. Chandrasena. The program incorporates 11 projects, including the issuance of title certificates, formalizing the government land database, publishing a new edition of roadmaps, and the preparations of land guidelines. The Cabinet of Ministers decided to appoint a committee to design a simple and easy payment system to collect the taxes on leased properties.
The MCC constraint analysis designed by the Millennium Challenge Corporation and a group from the Ministry of Finance analyzes and identifies the factors that hinder economic development in the country. One such factor identified is the 50-acre land limit and the legal limits on plot size. It further adds that land ownership lacks security. They also say local investors, when compared with foreign investors, are more informed of the land rules in Sri Lanka, and this is another obstruction. However, nowhere does it state farmers not having ownership of lands is an obstruction to the economic development of our country. They say one thing to the public and say another to the MCC. Things that the public would like to hear are told to the general public, and things that the MCC corporation likes to hear are told to the MCC. I think this was what the former government did, and in my view, what the present government is attempting to do.
අපි මේ ගැන බොහොම අවධානයෙන් සලකන්න ඕන.
සති 4කට පෙර ඔබතුමාලාට එපා වුණ MCC ගිවිසුම ඉදිරියේදී අසංකන් සෝදානමක් තියෙනවානේ.
නෑ මම කියන්නේ ඒකයි. අධ්‍යයනය කළා සාහනේ.
No, I am of the view that if we can benefit from this, after reviewing and analyzing this compact, we should not refuse it. But all of this is unofficial conversation. We can talk about it if the government makes an official announcement in this regard.
එතන අපි ගන්න පසුබට වෙන්නේ හැබැයි ඔය සියල්ලම ලින්ද ළඟ කතා. ආණ්ඩුවේ නිල නිවේදනයක් කරනවා නම් අපි ගැන සාකච්ඡා කරමු.
අතම කියන්නේ මේ ඔබතුමාලා අස්සන් නොකරනවාය කියලා කියන්නෙත් නෑනේ.
මේ රටට අහිතකර කියලා හිතෙන දැනෙන පෙනෙන කිසිම ජාතික ආරක්ෂාව අපේ ජාතික ආර්ථිකය අපේ සංස්කෘතික බැඳීම් හර පද්ධති මේවට කිසිදු ආකාරයක බලපෑමක් වෙන කිසිම දෙයකට ඉඩ තියන්නේ නෑ.
ඒ කියන්නේ ඔබතුමා මේ දැන් හිතේසී තත්ත්වයක් ඇති වුණොත් ගිවිසුම සම්බන්ධයෙන් පාර්ලිමේන්තුවට ගෙනල්ලා ඊට පස්සේනේ
අනිවාර්යයෙන්ම මම කියන්නේ අපි මාධ්‍යයට දෙන්නම්කෝ. ඔබ අධ්‍යයනය කරන්නකෝ මේක. ඉතින් ඒ නිසා අපි ඉස්සෙල්ලා මේක අධ්‍යයනය කරමු.
මේ පිළිබඳව රජය තමන්ගේ
The government must clarify their stance to the general public. They must clarify whether the government will sign or put an end to the MCC agreement. There is no use in assigning the pawns of the government to respond to these questions.
පොඩි පොඩි ගෝල බාලයෝ දාලා මේවට උත්තර දීලා පළක් නැහැ.
Japanese Foreign Minister Toshimitsu Motegi arrived in the island this evening to begin an official 2-day visit. The Foreign Minister is due to call on President Gotabaya Rajapaksa, Prime Minister Mahinda Rajapaksa and his Sri Lankan counterpart Dinesh Gunawardena during his 2-day visit. On to more local news now. A tense situation erupted in Jaffna following a protest against a wind power plant. Let's take a look.
Residents of Tanankilappu arrived at the land where the power plant is being constructed and started to vandalize the temporary structures. A clash broke out between the residents and the workers at the construction site when they attempted to prevent the residents from damaging the temporary structures. The tense situation was eased following the intervention of officials from the Chavakach area police. Police said no arrests have been made pertaining to the incident.
On to one of our stories that we have been following here at Newsfirst over the past couple of days. The overseas travel ban that was imposed on the Swiss embassy employee who was alleged to have been abducted and threatened has been extended until the 17th of December. Now this suspect arrived at the Criminal Investigations Department today for a 4th consecutive day to provide a statement.
Ghanaian barrister Francis arrived at the Criminal Investigations Department at 9 a.m. for the 4th consecutive day to provide a statement. The CID was still in the process of recording her statement by 6 p.m. today. The CID reporting its investigation progress to the Colombo Chief Magistrates Court said the investigations are yet to be completed. They added Bannister Francis was requested to reappear at the CID tomorrow as well. Attorney at law Upul Kumara Peruma, appearing for the aggrieved party, requested for the statements to be recorded at the residence of the Swiss ambassador considering the health condition of his client. Senior State Counsel Janaka Bandara, appearing for the Attorney General, strongly opposed this request and it was dismissed by court as well. Attorney at law Upul Kumara Peruma revealed that the lawyers representing the Swiss embassy staffer have been receiving threats and various influencers, and pointed out that if he withdraws from the case, it would be detrimental to the image of Sri Lanka. Chief Magistrate Lanka Jayaratna stated that if such allegations are true, it is a serious matter, and ordered the aggrieved party to provide a statement to the Criminal Investigations Department. Senior State Counsel Janaka Bandara stated that all lawyers should act professionally and not bring disgrace to the courts, as it is an obstruction to carry out justice.
Issuing a media release today, the Bar Association of Sri Lanka has called on its members to refrain from making any reference to concluded and pending court cases.
The statement noted there are a few instances where members of the legal profession too have resorted to this unsavory conduct. BASL is of the opinion that no such judge or a prosecutor could be taken to task for conducting a prosecution or hearing a case. The BASL unreservedly condemns the statements made with reference to concluded cases, pending litigation, role of judges, role of prosecutors, and the right of representation relating to litigants who are parties to court. The BASL requests its members to refrain from making any such references and to refrain from using the media for such purposes. The statement read, quote unquote, "We request our members to act within the ethical standards of the profession and preserve and protect the dignity of the profession, and if any such conduct continues, the BASL will not be hesitant to refer such matter for appropriate action."
A number of senior UNP members of parliament convened a media briefing in Colombo today.
We need to make sure that there are new faces that are appointed to leadership positions in the party. The people are calling for Sajith Premadasa to be named the party's candidate. The UNP appointed a 6-member committee. We made it very clear that the candidate to run for Prime Minister should face the election as the leader of the party. During the presidential election, we saw what happens when the leader of the party and the candidate are two different people. This cannot happen if we want to win.
There was a proposal regarding a leadership council. We reject this completely. We know how the election results changed and what forces were in play. We know who was involved in it as well. Those same forces have begun to speak out. We made it clear that as committee members, we will not take part in any more discussions. We have made our stance clear. We hope that we get a result soon after convening the executive committee of the party. We heard some people making statements yesterday that we need an experienced leader. We believe that Sajith Premadasa has the required experience.
The General Secretary of the party had announced that the party will go in for the polls under the leadership of Ranil Wickremesinghe. Such a decision was not taken by the party, the executive committee, or during the party convention. We know that there are people who make deals. When there were issues in the party, they even took steps to carpet the road in front of Sirikota together with the government. There is no need to have a leader, a prime ministerial candidate and a leadership council. All powers should be transferred.
සමහර අයට තමන්ගේ තනතුරු ආරක්ෂා කරගන්න එක එක දේවල් වලට මුවා වෙන්න ඕන වෙලා තියෙනවා. ඒගොල්ලෝ තමයි ඒවා කරන්නේ. ඒ කියන්නේ මානේකවතුමා. නෑ මම නම් කියන්නේ.
No, I do not want to mention names. A committee member held a media briefing yesterday and spoke about experience. This is an attempt to stop this.
ඒ කියන්නේ මේගොල්ලෝ මේ වැඩේ නවත්තන්න හදන්නේ.
The Constitutional Council today approved unanimously the nomination of President Gotabaya Rajapaksa to appoint High Court Judge M.D.S. Aberatna as a Court of Appeal judge.
The Constitutional Council convened today under the chairmanship of the Speaker of Parliament, Karu Jayasuriya. Since the position of the opposition leader has not been announced in Parliament, Sajith Premadasa had not been invited for the meeting. 7 of the 10 members of the Constitutional Council attended today's meeting. The Prime Minister had informed on a prior occasion that he would not be able to attend today's session. The appointment that was approved today was for the vacancy that was created following the retirement of Court of Appeal Judge Deepali Vijayasundara.
And it is the Christmas season and it is the season of giving. So we at Gammadda made sure that the people of Kataragama got something very important. A solution was provided to the drinking water crisis that was faced by residents of Gothamigama village in Kathragama through Gammada.
The residents of the Gothamigama village lamented over the lack of clean drinking water for consumption. This village has over 50 families, and the main concern of these residents was the health of their children after consuming unclean water. The Gammada teams embarked to provide a solution to this problem, and a 10,000-litre water tank was set up upon a tower in the village. The financial assistance for this project was provided by Mrs. Vivian Gregg, the wife of late veteran cricket commentator Tony Gregg, and Miss Lechmi P. Hathiramani. As the project was vested with the people, the villagers decided to offer the first release of water to the Kirivehera of Kathragama as a mark of reverence.
Now, the Mahasangha has expressed concern regarding a statement made during a religious sermon at Temple Trees, which described former Minister Milinda Morugada as a fundamentalist.
Asi Mahanayaka Thera, the chief prelate of the Sri Lanka Amarapura Mahanikaya, issuing a release noted that Milinda Morugada is a Sinhalese Buddhist who has been dedicated to the development of the Sambuddha Sasana. The release goes on to state that making such a statement at Temple Trees would only cause harm to the head of the household, and that it is unfortunate that this fact was not thought of prior to making the statement. Most Venerable Dr. Ittapane Dhammalankara Thero, the chief prelate of the Kotte Sri Kalyani Samagri Mahasangha Sabha, has also issued a statement on the incident. It notes that they completely reject Milinda Morugada being described as a fundamentalist. Shastrapati Gamtune Assaji Mahanayaka Thero of the Sri Lanka Amarapura sect's Chula Gandhi chapter has also issued a statement condemning the incident. The statement notes that preaching sermons in order to name individuals and attack them is not suitable. It adds that such sermons cannot be described as religious sermons.
Sri Lankan athletes who brought glory to Mother Lanka arrived at the island after the 13th South Asian Games in Kathmandu, Nepal last night.
The athletes arrived in the island decorating our motherland with a total of 251 medals. It includes 40 gold, 83 silver and 128 bronze medals. It is noteworthy that Sri Lanka secured a total of 35 medals in athletics, including 15 gold, which put neighbouring India to second place after 28 long years. Moreover, Sri Lanka men's 100-meter relay team won gold and became the fastest team in South Asia. In addition to athletics, the most number of medals this year was won by the Sri Lankan swimmers. Out of the 36 medal winners, Matthew Abesinghe was the pick of the stars, winning 7 gold medals. Moreover, Sri Lankan players secured gold in badminton, wushu, taekwondo, wrestling and golf. Amidst many challenges and even suffering from dengue, Sri Lankan athletes who won a record number of medals in the history of South Asian Games arrived at the island in this manner. Among those were 3 athletes who were diagnosed with dengue and were taken to the hospital by ambulance.
From the Echelon Square, we are celebrating Christmas. We'll leave you tonight with a Christmas carol performance by the Salvation Army Choir from earlier this evening. For the Newsfirst team, I'm Ramesh Rugal Bandara. Good night.